So welcome to the Selenium Java training. So here I am going to explain you about the course content and all what we are going to learn during this course. Okay. So first of all, see, people ask me the question, what is Selenium basically, right? So let's figure it out what is Selenium. So go to google.com and if you type Selenium, so you will get this link, first link, that is seleniumhq.org. This is the official website of Selenium. Okay, so if you go to that website, in the thing you can see Selenium automates browser. That's it. So that's the basic and simple definition of Selenium. Means Selenium automates browser. That means that what are the things you can do in the browser? You can do everything with the help of Selenium. What are the things you can do? You can click on any link, you can type on any field, you can click on any button, you can upload file, you can download file, you can play any videos, YouTube videos, or you can, you can play any YouTube videos, you can make the connection with the DB. Okay. Also, mouse over function, like if you mouse over function, I mean to say if you put the mouse on some menu, you will see that menu options is coming down, right? So those are called mouse over function. So everything, what are the things you can imagine you can do in a browser, you can do with the help of Selenium, like drag drop operation and all other mouse functions also. Okay, so that's the basic and simple definition of Selenium. Now, why people are moving to the Selenium? There are a lot of other tools also in the market. So why people are choosing that Selenium, right? So the first and the basic answer for that is, as you all are aware, it's an open source tool. That means you don't have to pay any amount to anyone for that tool. For example, say 5 people are working in some automation project. If you are going for Selenium to automate that, if you are going for Selenium to automate your application, you all can download any number of times in any machine and you can start practicing on it. But you go for other automation tool, which is paid automation tool, so that you have to buy the licenses from that vendor, right? And every year you have to renew the license. So that's the problem. And after that you have to figure it out whether all the functionalities of your application is supported by that tool or not. Right? If it is supported, it's fine. If it is not supported, then whatever the licenses you bought, everything is just like that. Now you have to look for something. But since Selenium is an open source tool, you don't have to pay anything to anyone. You can just download and start working on it. So that's the reason Selenium is growing nowadays, the market of the Selenium. So if you see the that graph that I have taken from Indeed.com, you can also go and look for it. Indeed.com. This is the job market between versus Selenium versus QTP. So the blue one is QTP and the yellow one is Selenium. So if you see in Jan 2006 and 7 when Selenium just started, it was almost zero. QTP market was very high. So Selenium is started growing up slowly, the job market for the Selenium opportunities. And in Jan 2012, Selenium just crossed the market of the QTP. And in Jan 14, here is the Selenium and here is the QTP. Now today if you see the latest graph Jan 15, you will see that Selenium graph is going up and QTP graph is coming down. Okay, so now you know what's the reason for Selenium market is going up and down. Not only that open source tool, but there are some other things also. Like Selenium supports all this kind of browsers, Safari, Chrome, Firefox, IE, Opera, all these browsers. So when I say Selenium supports all these browsers, I mean to say that without changing your code, the same code can be run on all the browsers. You just need to change the one-liner code where you are specifying which browser you are going to run. But there's the problem with the other automation tool. For example, you have developed some scripts in some browser. If you are going to run the same scripts in other browser, you are not sure, maybe 50% scripts might get failed also. Okay, or maybe less than that. Even if the same browser, some script, whatever people developed in like say IE6 in 2004 and 5 using QTP. Now if you are going to run the same scripts in the latest version of IE 11 or 12, you can see I don't think you will get more than 30 to 40% plus percentage. So So that is the problem with other automation too. But Selenium, using Selenium, you can use the same scripts and you can run the same scripts in all the browser, different browser, same browser, different version. The reason for that is Selenium identifies the object based on its DOM structure. Now what is DOM structure, how it identifies, what are those things, that I am going to talk about all these things in details in my course. Okay, so you will get an idea why that is it's not changing from browser to browser. The identification of the object, the mechanism of the object identification is very stable in Selenium. Okay, so you can run your scripts in all the browsers. Even Selenium supports all these kind of OS also, iOS, Apple, Linux, Android, Windows, and all these browsers. Plus Selenium supports different languages also, Ruby, Python, .NET, PHP, Java. So you can do all the permutation and combination here. Okay, so Selenium supports all these browsers, Selenium supports all these kind of OS, and Selenium supports all these languages. Here we are going to learn Selenium with the help of Java. You need to know any one language to work on Selenium. Okay, so here I am going to talk about Java with the Selenium. Right? Now, there are different components of Selenium, Selenium IDE, RC, WebDriver and all. So before that, let us go through the course content. What are the course content we are going to follow? Okay, so first of all, you need to know the basic Java. See, as you know, Java again has its own world. You cannot, if you start learning Java, you cannot finish it. Like Java is kind of a ocean. So here I have identified what are the things you need to know before you actually start working on Selenium. So I have identified some topics here. First of all, how to install Java and how to install Eclipse, because we are going to run Java and all the programming through the Eclipse. Then basic Java program, then different loops in the Java, then local variable, global variable, static, non-static function. What is this? Object-oriented programming concept. So constructor overloading, function overloading, array, inheritance, interface. What is the difference between those things, interface and inheritance? Okay. What is the package block, how to read write from Excel file, what is Java list, Java set, and all of things. And there are some other topics also, like Java listeners and all that. I am going to talk about it during my course. Whenever I am going to use that, before that, I am going to cover the listeners part and I am going to show you what is the use of it. Okay. So once we are done with the Java, basic Java, then we will move to the IDE part. Okay, here I am going to show you how you are going to install IDE, how you can record the scripts, how you can run the script. There are different, options in IDE, user extension file. What is that user extension file? How we can use it? What are the different functions and JavaScript functions we can use it in IDE and all. After that, we are going to start RC. Starting RC, I am going to talk about the XPath and object identification. You can identify the XPath. Like for that you have to install two different tools. One is Firepath and Firepath. One mode is there, XPath checker. I think I have not mentioned it here. Okay. Then using the Firepath, how we can identify the object using XPath. You can identify the object using CSS selector also. What is the difference between two? And you can also identify the object using different other attributes. You can create your own XPath, own CSS selector and everything. Okay, I am going to talk about all these things slowly and we will proceed with the course. Then we are going to talk about RC. What is RC? What is the architecture of RC? What is the advantages of RC over IDE? What is the difference between RC and WebDriver? Okay, some basic scripts we are going to learn, and we are going to run the same scripts in different browsers, how to run and all, how to start RC server, stop RC server, all these things we are going to talk about it. Okay. So after that, we will move into the WebDriver. So WebDriver is a component which people are using currently across the organization. So everyone is using WebDriver now. After 2011, no one is using RC, I believe. Okay. So here, if you see, we are going to cover each and everything. What are the things you can imagine you can do in a website? Okay. Identifying web elements, handling boxes, dynamic objects. Okay. capture and screenshot, how you can handle windows, how you can handle frames, and all these things, drag drop operation, mouse operation, checkbox, everything. Okay, how to automate flash application, how you can make the connection with that easy, how we can automate web table. Okay, everything. And finally, we are going to talk about auto IT tool. So I am going to talk about it, what is auto IT tool and what is the use of it and all. Okay, so all these things we are going to talk about in Selenium web dev. Okay, so if I talk about auto IT tool, what is auto IT tool and what is the use of it? So if you remember, just now I showed you here, Selenium automates browse, right? That means the disadvantage of Selenium is that you cannot automate any desktop application with the help of Selenium. Right? Now for example, you are going to attach some file. So as soon as you click on the browse button, one window will open. So in that window, you have to select your C drive or D drive, go to that particular location and select the file. But as soon as you click on the browse button, that window will open. That window is a desktop, part of desktop. It's not a part of your web page, right? So Selenium will not be able to figure it out. So in that case, you have to use auto IT tool. Also, you can do it with the help of one function called sandcase that I am not talking about right now. But there are other things, importing files, uploading files, downloading files, all these things you can do with the help of auto IT tool. So what here we will be doing, using auto IT tool, we will be automating those parts and we will tell Selenium to control that auto IT tool. Okay? So basically indirectly with the help of Selenium we are automating, but actual automation part will be done by the auto IT tool. Okay, so here is the auto IT tool, what I am going to talk about it and how you can control this auto IT tool with the help of Selenium. I will show you all this. So those are the basics of Selenium. After that we will move into the TestNG part. Now TestNG, what TestNG will do? TestNG is a reporting tool. It will run your scripts and it will generate the report also for you. So here I am going to talk about different TestNG annotations. Okay. How to run different class in your batch running and how to parameterize test, what is the different, how to generate report, how to check, what is the advantages of JUnit over TestNG and everything. So some people ask me about JUnit also. So the thing is here that if you know one of the two, TestNG or JUnit, you can work on the other tool also. Because the annotations and command what we will be using here, everything is same in both the tools. But TestNG is having some more advantages over JUnit. That I am going to talk about it. So if you know the TestNG, in case in future if you want to work on JUnit also, you can easily work on it. Okay, that's not an issue. But anyway, I am planning to make one video also on JUnit and planning to share with you all also in case you want to work. Okay. After that, we will be moving to the ANT tool. ANT is a build generation tool, which will generate the build. Okay. So if you use JUnit, you cannot use ANT. JUnit is not supported. So using TestNG, you can use ANT. Also, with the help of ANT, after we can run the script using ANT, we can generate the XSLT report also. So what is XSLT report and all? I am going to talk about all these things. The full form is XML Style Sheet Language for Transformation. After ANT, we will be moving to the grid part. So what is grid? Grid basically, for example, you have 100 test cases. So I want you to give me the browser certification. Okay? I told you, you give me the certification of the browser for all these things. Certify those test cases into different browsers. So what you can do? You can run all these 100 test cases in IE, then in Firefox, then in Chrome, all the 100. Or what you can do? You can do like this. Okay, 50 test cases you are going to run it on IE, 20 test cases on Firefox, 30 test cases on Chrome. That also you can do, right? And you can tell I have covered all these three browsers. So all this permutation and combination you can do in the grid. Okay? So there are some node and half concept, maximum session, maximum instances, all these things are there. I am going to talk about it. Also I am going to show you how you can run all the test cases in parallel and run all the test cases in serial. So during my course, I am going to show you that using grid, I am going to run my test case in IE, Chrome and Firefox. Okay, serially as well as parallelly. I am going to show all these things to you. So once we are done with the grid, TestNG, ANT, WebDriver, everything, finally we will be moving to the framework part. Now there are two kinds of framework. available in the market. Currently people are using. There are other small kind, other frameworks also, but the most popular framework is keyword driven framework. Okay. So we are going to cover here keyword driven framework. As well as there are one more framework is called data driven. So I am going to cover both the things. And I am going to use hybrid framework also. So hybrid framework is nothing but a combination of keyword driven and data driven. So at the end of the course, we will be covering the framework part, and I am going to talk about it each and every part of this. How you can start developing framework. What are the different files you have to use. How you can use it. How you can generate the report and all everything. Okay. So these are the things we are going to learn in the course. Okay.